Today we will see the topic is Coulomb's law in vector form. In the earlier class, in the previous class, we come to know about the Coulomb force, that is the electrostatic force, and that Coulomb force gives the only magnitude value. We know that the force is a vector quantity, that means it must have the magnitude as well as direction, and force always act any direction. So on that case, how we come to know about that the Coulomb's law that also represents in vector form. So we just consider the 2-point charges Q1 and Q2. These 2-point charges are separated by a distance, that is the r distance there between the 2-point charges. Let's suppose that point charge lie at the point A and charge B lie at the point B. Q2 lie at the point B. Or we may write it as a 1 position and the 2 position. So here we see this the 2 charge particle or have the forces, that force on the second, that is due to the charge particle of the one, that F Q21, and that force have the direction. If the charge particle is positive and Q1 is also positive, on that case there is the repulsion, means the force, tendency of the force is outward. If it has one positive and another negative, on that case the tendency of the force is, that is the attractive, that is inward. So we can say that the nature of the force that depends upon the nature of the charge particle. So on here we will see that the force on the Q2, that is equal to F21, and the force on the Q1, that also, if it is the like charge, on that case the force direction is again outward, and that force is equal to 1, 2. That means the force experienced by the charge particle 1 due to the charge particle 2 is the F12, and the force experienced by the charge particle 2 due to the charge particle 1 is the F21. Now here, that for the vector there is the distance between the 2 charges Q1 and Q2. So the unit vector is represented as R from 1 to 2. That means the force start acting from charge Q1 to the charge Q2, that is the 1, 2. That is the unit vector, and the direction of the unit vector is from Q1 to Q2. Similarly, if we consider the another charge character of this one, the same charge particle Q1 and Q2, and if we the force acting F12, that means the direction of the unit vector is equal to R2 to 1. For the same distance, the magnitude is the R, and here we come to know that is the force F12 have the tendency from Q2 to Q1 from the unit vector, that is from 1 to 2 to 1. This is the arrangement. And by this arrangement we come to know that the force has a direction. One most important point we must know, that is the note point, that in the Coulomb force or electrostatic force always act in a straight line. Static force or Coulomb force always acts in straight line. Here we are talking about the Coulomb force, that's why all the forces which obey the inverse square law always act in a straight line, whether it is gravitational force also. So here that means the Coulomb force acts in a straight line. So force acts in a straight line either on the first charge due to the second, or the second charge due to the first, that is the represented like this. Now, in vector representation or Coulomb force, that means that the force F is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by R square. This only gives the magnitude value. Magnitude value. There is no indication of the direction. So that is the statement also says that the two stationary point charge either attract or repel each other with the force which is directly proportional to the product of the magnitude of the charges. Why it is so that means we are not concerned with whether it is positive or negative, and inversely proportional to the square of the distance. So this only gives the magnitude value. So for the direction, we must know that if it is positive charges, on that case the direction of the force is repulsive or outward. If it is negative charges, of one negative and another is positive, on that case it is attractive. Now the magnitude of the force is given, and the force F12 that is have the direction. That means it acts for the second due to the first, and the direction is outward, and direction from the tendency arises from for if we consider the force F21, on that case the tendency arises from 1 to second or A to B, or from charge Q1 to Q2, or we can say that unit position vector from 1 to 2. So here we will write that if we see the above relation, on that case the force 2-1 and the force and the 1-2 direction are in same direction. And the force 1-2 vector and unit position vector, here it is unit position vector, that is R21, are in same direction. As we know that force F21 vector, that is means the force acting on, that means the force experienced by the charge Q1, here it is charge Q2 due to the charge Q1, and similarly for the F12 also for vector 1-2, that means it takes the experience from the charge, that means the force experienced by the charge Q1 due to the charge Q2. That is the force F12, that means the force acting on the charge Q1 due to the charge Q2. Now also, if we consider the unit vector, here it is. So R12, that means the distance from the unit position, the unit vector represent the direction from A to B for this R12, and this is for R12 unit, that means from charge Q1 to Q2, and like that R21, that is from the charge Q2 to Q1. So this is the way we can represent it. Now in vector form, the two vectors are given, that is F12 and these are in the same direction, and F3 these are in the same direction. So for that we represent this one, that vector 1 2. Also we know that F12 vector by the magnitude is equal to F21 vector, that is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by R square. That only give the magnitude as we represent this one, and this is the equation number 1. Now if we represent each of this, either of these force, let's suppose that F21, here we are considering that F21 vector, that is equal to, magnitude is the 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by R square, and the direction for the vector, the direction is from A to B or from 1 to 2 or from Q1 to Q2, that have the unit position vector, that is the 1 2 unit vector. This is the equation number 2nd, and like that similarly F12 is represented as, the magnitude is given 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by R square, and that is R21. These two relations which we have now, equation number 2 and equation number 3, that gives the vector representation of the Coulomb force. So here equation 2 and 3 represents the vector form of Coulomb's law. Now we also know that here that two position vectors, two position unit vectors, that unit vectors having the same magnitude but the direction is opposite, one from the A to B, another from B to A. So we can write it as this one, unit position vector for 1 to 2, that is represented as, here is the magnitude and the unit is here, unit vector, that means the vector by its magnitude, or we may write it simply that R position vector from A to B, that R position vector, if it is from 1 to 2, here it is also 1 to 2, that is equal to, here we will write that unit vector 1 magnitude plus into unit vector R12. Magnitude make a product with the unit direction, that become the vector, or we may write like this, R12 vector is equal to, here it is R12 vector, that mod, this become the magnitude and the unit, that is the unit vector. So this unit vector may be represented as the position vector to its magnitude. Now if we consider this one, for the above relation we have now the equation 2 becomes 2 and 3 becomes F21 vector is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q1 q2 by r square into, here is the unit vector r12. In place of the r12 we can write this one. So that become the position vector of 1 2 to the r here, and that r now it divided as, that is the 1 by 4 by epsilon naught q1 q2 by r cube into position vector from 1 to 2, and that is the force on second charge due to the first charge. Now it becomes the equation number 4, and like that similarly we will write that F12 is represented as 1 by 4 by epsilon naught q1 q2 by r cube r2 to 1 position vector. So 4 and 5 is another form, or we can say that in the another way to represent the vector representation of the Coulomb with the position vectors. Earlier we have taken in the form of unit vector, now this is with the position vector. One more way we can express it when we consider the position vector from the origin. Let's consider this one, that is the two charges, here is the x and y, and two charges, suppose that is the two charge, that is the q1 and here it is the q2. Now the distance among this, that 1 here and 2 second from the position, it is r1 position vector, and here it is r2 position vector. So this is the AB. We can write it as a AB vector, A to B vector for the force acting F, that is here 2 to 1. On that case the force acting from A to B or from 1 to 2. Let's suppose this is the delta R, that is vector from A to B. Now here the position from O to A, that is the R1 position vector, from O to B, that is the R2 position vector. We know that according to Tangle law of vector addition, we will write, if the direction is along, the force is along this direction, we consider now the direction from the A to B. So on that case, this R1 plus this, according to the triangle law, we can write, that is R2 vector is equal to R1 vector plus delta R, or we can write this, that delta R vector is equal to, now R1 vector minus R2, or that is R2 vector minus R1 vector. So with the position vector, how we will write, that force from, that is the 2 1 is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q1 q2 by r, that is the distance AB, and AB square, that means delta R vector whole square by the unit position vector, that is from A to B, that is unit position vector R, delta R unit vector. Here it is also unit vector, that we may write as A to B. So this, in place of this unit vector, we can write delta R by unit vector is equal to delta R vector divided by the distance of this R. Let's consider this one is the R vector, and here delta R is equal to R2 vector minus R1 vector by, here it is the this is the vector and there is the magnitude r2 vector minus r1 vector. So in place of this we will write, now the force become, with the position vector it become 2 1, and that is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q1 q2 by, here it is, in place of delta r square we will write this one unit place, and r magnitude, that is the r2 vector minus r1 vector whole square into, here it is, that means r2 vector minus r1 vector, that divided by, here it is r2 vector minus r1 vector, that is f21 with the position vector is represented as 4 pi epsilon naught 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q1 q2 by, here it is r2 vector minus r1 vector q, and here the vector itself r2 vector minus r1 vector, and that become the equation number, that is the 6. And similarly we will write about the force acting in this direction, that is the F12, here it is, the F12 is represented as 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught, that one is the q1 q2 by, here in place of this r2 we will write the r1 minus r2, that become the r1 vector minus r2 vector whole cube into r1 vector minus r2 vector, and that is the equation number 7. So all the three, whether 2 or 3, 4 or 5 or 6 and 7, all represent the vector form of the Coulomb's law, but in different conditions. That is, in the first two we will consider the unit vector, in the second two, on that case there is the vectors representation position vector, and here it is the position vector in the 2 dimension of coordinate. So this is the vector representation. Now what is the importance of the vector representation? Why we study the vector representation? That means of Coulomb force. The importance of a Coulomb force in vector form. Importance of Coulomb's law in vector form. First of all, it will gives the clear idea that either of the force are equal and opposite. It will, or it shows that the forces, either of the force F12 and F21 are equal and opposite to each other. How it is? So on that particular we will see, we know that the unit position vector, that is the both are equal. Unit means it has a unit value, and the direction is opposite, one from the 1 to 2, another from 2 to 1. So on that case R12 unit vector is equal to minus of the R21 unit vector. Both are equal by magnitude and having the direction opposite. So we consider that F12, that means we have the relation 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q1 q2 by r square, and here the unit vector is 2 1 unit here. Now 2 1 means we consider the minus of this one, or this implies r vector 2 1 is equal to minus of the r vector 1 2. That is, here we will write, or we can write this one. So in place of r21 we will write the minus of this f12 vector is equal to minus of 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q1 q2 by r square. In place of this we will write minus of the unit vector 1 2, that is. Now the minus we will take outside, that means our force 1 2 is equal to minus is taken outward, and in the bracket it is the 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q1 q2 by r square and unit vector 1 2 unit vector. Now this relation gives the force to 1. So we have the F force 1 2 that is equal to minus of the force to 1. This shows the either of the force are equal by magnitude and opposite by direction, or we can say that it also obeys the Newton's third law. That is, either of the force Coulomb force or electrostatic force is equal by magnitude and opposite in direction, opposite by in direction. So it obeys the Newton's third law. So whatever the force act over the one, the same similar force, the equal force act over on the first also, second also, and either of the force only have the direction opposite, but the magnitude is the same. So first importance of the Coulomb's law in vector form, that two forces are equal and opposite. Now the second important point, these two forces are equal and opposite, that means it is a force acting to its center or straight line, along the straight line. Second, since two forces are equal and opposite to each other, thus the forces acting in a straight path, thus the forces acting in straight line, that is the two forces that is the F12 and F21 are acting in a straight line. We represent here for the F21 and for here it is the F12, that two forces are in a straight line, either the repulsive or attractive, and that is why it is known as central force. So two important points we come to know regarding this Coulomb's law in vector form. By knowing the Coulomb's law in vector form, by knowing the vector representation, one, the force acting on either of the charges are equal and opposite, and next one is the force acting in a straight line, that means it is a central force, that is the force acting in a straight line. It is not a tangential force, it is a straight line force from one center of the charge particle to the another center of the charge particle. So this is all about the vector representation of Coulomb's law. Now next class we will see that is the permittivity or relative permittivity.